Rifleman. Starring Chuck Connors.
See, the two cattle barons are back from the big city.
We got $18 a head, Micah.
Well, that's a pretty good price for beef these days. You get all 20 head safe to market, Lucas?
No trouble at all.
Thanks for cutting your trip short.
When are you leaving for the Marshals Convention? Tonight?
Now that you're back, right after church.
Well, we're heading that way now. Sit with us?
My pleasure. Hope you don't mind the town council voting on a new preacher while you were gone. He and his son arrived sooner than expected.
Oh, it's fine with me. I'll always go along with the majority.
You know Preacher Jameson?
Micah, did this man tell you anything about himself?
He did. We took into consideration he was outside the law for a spell, but he served his time in prison and paid his debt to society.
Did he tell you how he rode the Oklahoma border? Burning out settlers, stealing their lands, dishing out misery for so many dollars he could spend in a saloon?
What I did in a wild youth was inexcusable. And all I can do is ask forgiveness for those I hurt. Whatever may have been done to you, I ask your forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Did you tell him everything, Jameson? How you were hunted like an animal after you grew too old and slow? After you lost your nerve with a gun? How you finally had no place to turn to, no more rocks to crawl under? Is that the only way you can get a peaceful night's sleep? Hiding behind that collar?
Lucas!
Jameson, I swore I'd kill you if I ever...
Lucas! That was a fine sermon, Mr. Jameson.
Thank you, Marshal. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Some of the townsfolk will be working on the rectory this afternoon. We're trying to hurry you out of that hotel room and into a fit house for you and your son.
Thank you again. Good day.
Good day.
Mark, I'm sorry you had to witness what happened at the church.
I understand, Paul. You had a good reason for talking to Mr. Jameson like that.
Must have been nearly 25 years ago. Jameson rode the Oklahoma border country before there was any law. He'd do anything to force a farmer out. Anything short of killing. He was too smart for that.
I remember you telling me once how you watched your own pa's farm burn.
House and barns and fields. A lifetime of my pa's work. When he died, my pa was an unhappy man. The Army finally came in and put an end to Jameson's raids.
Pa, I'm not taking Mr. Jameson's part, but maybe he's really sorry for all that he's done.
Mark, it's more than what he's done. It's the hypocrisy. Micah, how could you and the town council be taken in by Jameson?
Still a question whether we were taken in, I'd say.
Well, there's no question in my mind. Jameson is nothing but a coward hiding behind the cloth.
I was just telling him when you cool down, you'd be the first to say a man has a right to another chance.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Micah. If he'd come into North Fork to open up a general store or to buy a piece of land and farm it, you wouldn't hear one word from me. Every man out of prison has a right to a fresh start. But to use the church...
Do you think your feelings about the preacher will have an effect on your work as a deputy while I'm gone?
Why would it?
Because he's a citizen like everybody else and he deserves your protection.
Now, look, Micah. I despise the ground Jameson walks on. From now on, Mark and I'll go to the Marinette Church. But I'll treat Jameson just like anybody else as long as I'm wearing your badge, all right?
That's good enough for me. And I hope by the time I get back, your opinion of him will change a little. Bye, Mark.
Have a good trip, Micah.
Stay away from that red eye up at the convention.
3 drinks at convention is my limit now.
Well, what do you know? There he is, Brother Charlie, just like we've been told, running himself another church again. You reckon he's wearing a gun yet?
I've told you I no longer carry a gun.
Now, I wonder why that'd be. Now, here a man has a powerful liking for a gun, all of a sudden figuring he's better off not wearing one. Well, maybe he figures that wearing that turnabout collar makes him a whole lot safer. Is that right, Mr. Jameson?
Why do you follow me?
Well, we got business here. Peaceful business. I guess you might sort of call us goodwill ambassadors. You see, we come into town and sort of tell folks all about their new preacher. Oh, that church is gonna be so empty when we get through giving our sermon.
Can't you leave my son and me live in peace?
Why, sure, preacher. Now, all you gotta do is strap on a gun one time, and you see the last of it. But he ain't gonna be able to see much with a foot of dirt over his eyes. Now, we'll be back later, preacher, as soon as we have some refreshments. You won't go away now, will you?
Well, it's a nice day. Mark, when you finish your lunch, bring me back a sandwich, please.
All right.
I see we've got visitors.
Who are they, Paul?
Well, the Breen brothers, a couple of vultures, trying to build up a reputation as gun hands, but being mighty sure their man is either old or sick or has a bounty on him so they can shoot him in the back. You run along.
Brother Willie, we got visitors.
What do you boys want in North Fork?
Well, Marshal, we're just in town for the day. Right now, we had intentions of going in here and getting ourselves a drink. Can't say this anyway for the town lawman to greet a guy.
Well, I'm giving you 2 fair warning. Don't try and notch your guns while you're in North Fork.
Marshal, me and my brother Charlie, we're just peaceful men going our peaceful way.
Your way better be peaceful. Right up until the time you ride out. Don't you 2 ever take a bath?
Seems like a kind of marshal gets mad over nothing. The way he's talking, maybe taking the preacher's side. Brother Charlie, Marshal always stays on the side of the law. Now, the law ain't gonna worry us none if we get that preacher riled up enough to come gunning for us. I'm kind of getting tired of waiting for the preacher to get riled up. Well, maybe we've been going at him wrong. Maybe we ought to do something today to make the fur fly. Huh?
I hope you don't mind me coming in like this, Mr. McCain.
What do you want, boy?
I don't right know, I guess. Maybe I do, but I just don't know how to say it.
If you were going to talk to me about what happened this morning, I want to say I'm sorry. The differences between your pa and me shouldn't have been said in front of other people.
Well, that makes me feel better, Mr. McCain. I mean, better a little. Mr. McCain, I sure like this town. Having a real house to live in. Since my ma died, we haven't been living in real houses.
Did your pa send you over here to talk to me?
Oh, no, sir. Supposed to be on an errand to the livery stable.
Well, maybe you better get on with that errand, boy.
Yes, sir. Mr. McCain, when I grow up and do something bad, if I do something bad, will it always count against me?
No, of course not.
But it counts against my pa? He's different?
Now, look here, boy. I said I was sorry about what happened this morning. I am. It won't happen again. I won't say another word in this town about your father, good or bad.
But making believe he's not even in town, well, that's even worse than yelling things at him.
Don't you think you better get on with that errand?
Something the matter?
I don't know why your pa has to be so mean.
Well, you got my pa all wrong. It's not meanness.
I don't know what else you'd call it then.
My pa wouldn't hurt anyone. Maybe it's just because there's some things he can't forget.
Lots of things were done to my pa, Mark. He forgets.
Well, maybe they're different things. Some things you forget easy. Other things are kind of hard to forget.
Me and my brother didn't catch the sermon this morning, preacher. What was it about?
I spoke on transgressions. How an evil deed hurts the doer more than the victim.
Transgressions, huh? I guess you ought to know firsthand about something like that.
Sure, I'm sorry I missed your sermon, preacher. You got a real good speaking voice. Let's see, the last time I heard it, must have been the time you and your boys run that shopkeeper out of town.
I based my sermon on the transgressions of my former life. It served the dual purpose of telling the congregation all about me.
I took real nerve. Yes, sir, I really got to hand it to you, preacher. I guess you told them about the time you burned down a land office, then showed up claiming people's land with a lot of phony deeds.
I omitted nothing.
It must have been a long sermon. I wonder if he told you about how his boys stopped the stage out of Tucson and left 2 ladies for dead. And then him and his boys rode away. I wonder if he did that.
I know nothing about any stage holdup.
Oh, well, you just must have forgot, preacher. Driver said it was you personally dragged those women out of the stage.
That's a lie.
Well, I guess he told you folks about the old man his boys hung from a barn rafter.
I wonder if he told you that the old man was still alive when they set fire to the barn.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. These are all lies. I've never taken a human life. If these things were true, do you think the law would permit me to be freed? Wait. Please.
They told lies. Those men told lies.
I'm sure they did. Come on.
Oh, preacher. We thought you told them everything.
So the truth couldn't destroy me. So you lied.
What town you gonna go to next, preacher?
You know, Willie, it seems to me that a man of real godly ways would save us the trouble always looking high and low for him.
How about it, preacher?
A showdown here? Or are we gonna have to chase you to another town?
There are no other towns.
I hope he goes and puts on his gun. Then we got a right to protect ourselves, ain't we?
He'll be wearing a gun all right this time. His spineless back is right up against the wall. Hey, I seen the marshals can go over to the office.
That's good. That's good. With the preacher coming at us and the marshal taking his side, that puts us in the right.
Yeah. You get ready to handle the marshal. Huh?
Awful things, Po. They just kept on talking and talking, and you could tell they were all lies the way they said them, but everyone seemed to believe it.
Jameson, I'm sorry about the Breens. I'll run them out of town.
No, let them be. They speak from ignorance. Their words can't hurt me. Lies never can. But your words, your silence, that's destroying me.
Mark, Aaron, you better wait outside. Go on, boys. Jameson, there's one thing standing between you and me. You're a fraud. You're a coward hiding behind that cloth.
That's not so.
You proved it in Tucson the day that old man came after you with a gun. When you threw away your own gun and begged for your life.
That's not the whole story.
And you deny it's true?
It's true that I didn't have the
You know
strength to
it's
hold
true.
a gun. It's true I didn't have the strength to hold a gun because a strange thing happened. I saw an old man coming at me, an old man who couldn't even handle a gun, an old man who was a moment away from death. And then I saw myself. I saw myself. But from that day forward, I found myself becoming a part of every person that I met, feeling their hurt and their joy. And if I said an unkind word, I felt the hurt of it, as though the word was spoken to me. Right now I can feel the torture that's going through your mind. Well, don't judge me, please. Let God do that.
Jameson, can you look me in the eyes and tell me it wasn't fear that made you turn into a preacher?
I can't do that because I don't know myself.
You don't know whether you're hiding behind that collar or not?
Oh, I don't. It's possible that I might be motivated by cowardice. I pray each night that such is not the case.
Why did you come to this town? Why do you put me into conflict with myself?
Believe in me. Give me strength. Come to my church.
Believe in you. You don't know how much I want to believe in you. But, Jameson, you don't even believe in yourself.
Believe in me, for the love of God, believe in me. I've got to have somebody's faith to hold on to. I'm wandering in darkness. Help me. I've got to have some time to prove myself. Please, give me a little time.
Jameson, if you stay in North Fork, the people will come back to you. They'll realize those men lied. As for myself, I can never listen to a man I doubt preaching a sermon.
Especially a man that doubts himself. I understand. I guess this is the end of the line for me. Perhaps it wouldn't matter so much if only I knew the truth about myself.
doing a lot of thinking about your father. A coward would never wonder if he's a coward. Takes a brave man to say he isn't sure. Brave and an honest man.
My pa sure is honest, Mr. McCain. Everything he says, you just know it's coming from way inside of him.
Son, I'm going over to talk to your father now. He's a lot bigger man than he thinks he is.
There's only one of them there, Pa.
You boys, stay back.
See, you kind of lost your collar there, preacher.
I've taken it off. I'll no longer wear it.
Well, I reckon that's enough for us. Just see if you had nerve enough to wear a gun.
That's all you wanted? You've got no intention of calling me?
No. I reckon just seeing the collar off of you is enough for us.
Had you forgotten something, Mr. Jameson? You're kind of undressed, aren't you?
I broke my vow never to wear a gun. That collar belongs on a man of stronger faith than mine.
A little while ago, you asked me not to judge you, that it should be left to God. Now you're trying to judge yourself.
I won't ask you to shake my hand, Lucas. Now. Sometime in the future, I hope you'll do me the honor.
A few minutes back, I was on my way over here to ask you to do the same thing.
Pa, everybody's going back to work at the rectory, and the lady's got some cake there. Won't be any left if we don't get over.
Well, let's get over there.
It looks like we're finally home.
Well, come on, let's get some cake.
Okay, come on.
Well,